Life is pain. The video that I just recorded, it was like 20 something minutes of recording. It didn't pick up the visual. I struggle with technology so much. This is terrible. Anyway, this is the finished product that I ended on. Sorry that it doesn't show how I came to get it drawn. Back to the video. All right. I think I've set everything up properly. Took me a smidgen of doing and a little bit of singing, but we got there. We got there. Okay. I have a lot of different things to get done today, and recording to output is one of them, but it's one of the lower priorities, which is really interesting. I got about 30 minutes on this one before I'm like officially late on my 3 o'clock schedule, which is unfortunate, but the reason I'm late on this one is because I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, aren't I? I'm just gonna keep going. The reason I'm late on this one is because I haven't like really, well, one of the reasons is that I haven't really been saving videos in a backlog, which is like, come on, man. That's like you had one job there. It's like, yeah, you're right. I did have the one job there, and it just, didn't actually happen. So, whatever. This kind of thing happens. But the other thing is, like, one of my friends has a wedding today, so it's like I can only spend so much time without helping him. So don't mind all of my rough scribbles. I'm a fan of my rough scribbles, but they definitely don't look the nicest. The reason I'm a fan of them is because it makes it so that I don't have to be as accurate as I need to be. Anyway, I tried to get a backlog of videos. I really tried, man. I really tried, but what happened was that I couldn't. Here's the setup that happened, right? I was going to go through and record a setup for I was like gonna just do some fun little stuff on the piano, right? And so I was going to go do that, and so I was getting ready to do the stuff on the piano. And what happened was I couldn't get the recording set up to properly function. And so all of my recording bits and whatnots just wasn't working. So I spent like 6 hours yesterday, way too long, because I set aside a good chunk of time for me to do stuff, right? And all of my recording time just totally got eaten up. Because where did my drawing stuff go? There it is. All of my recording time got eaten up because I couldn't get the thing to run in the way that I wanted it to. And it's like, oh, come on. I did the whole thing where it's like, okay, you set aside time to schedule, and it's like, okay, so I did the scheduling of all the stuff, and so as I'm doing the scheduling of all of the stuff, it just kind of ate the time, and then I no longer had that. So it's like, come on, man. I tried so hard. I did so well, and it just didn't work. So that's really unfortunate. I plan on taking another swing at it again today, but I'm not super confident in it working or not. So we'll see. I'll definitely give it a shot because I want to do the piano stuff, but I also want to set it up in a way where I can like do the piano stuff without it like taking a ridiculous amount of editing and whatnot, where I have to like sync stuff. And it's not that hard to sync things, but I don't want to sync audio and video. And I do want there to be video for it, because that would be it'd be like mildly unfortunate if you Cause I'm just switching through a ton of switching through a ton of different presets on the sounds that I have that my friend set me up with, and just playing around with all of those. So that's a ton of fun, and I do get a lot of good like fun piano whatnots out of it from just like small, it's just the small stuff that you do on the when you're at the piano. I'm drawing this right, I think. It looks like it. Well, if it's not right, then, I blame my lack of skill. So, it's actually turning out way better than I thought it was. So, woo on that one. Anyway, so I really tried to set it up, and it just, tech problems, man, tech problems. I have no clue how to run OBS, and I'm running OBS right now because I can like record capture on this one. I can just like screen capture my second monitor, and that works. I don't necessarily screen capture the second monitor, but the problem was it wasn't like taking the input of the audio on the things. So it's like, okay, so what am I supposed to do there if the audio device isn't like, outputting audio for my recording device for the recordings? It's like, well, you're kind of screwed there a little bit, And so that was a fun one. It was a long day. It was just a lot of things. It was one of those days, man. Sometimes you just have days where it's like everything came at you all at once and you didn't feel ready for it. You still got all the things done, but it doesn't like you didn't get the important things done. It was one of those days. I did get a good chunk of important stuff done, which is good, but it was just one of those days where it didn't feel like I was doing anything super, super productive, even though it didn't feel like I was getting things done. So I was getting stuff done, but it didn't quite feel like it. So I'm just using that to add some depth to it right now because I don't want to do any shadows and whatnots. Anyway, I'm doing like a little clone trooper here. That's what this is. It's just like the upper breastplate, and I'll be doing the helmet in just a bit. But I wanna get this done. I don't have a ton of time. Again, I'm kind of strapped for time, but yeah, I was thinking about it, and it's really interesting to have classmates get married, because they're about the same age as me, right? And I haven't been married, so it's like, oh, okay, cool. But they're getting married, and it's like, oh, good for them. Hope it turns out well. And then my dad was asking me, because I was telling him about it yesterday. He was asking me, well, that's kind of wacky, because he also got married pretty young. And he's like, well, would you ever get married, your age? And it's like, I had to think about that for a second, because it's like, well, one thing is like, you take on so much responsibility when you get married, right? It's like you double your responsibility, because right now I only have like one person to take care of, and as soon as I get married, it's like multiple people. It's like more than one person. It's like, can you take care of more than one person? You can like barely take care of yourself, It's like you can't keep up with yourself and a YouTube channel and all this stuff, right? You're really struggling here, man. It's like, that's fair. That's totally fair and valid. But would I still do it is the question. It's like, well, if I found the right person, I could be convinced into it. And part of that is because I'm like reasonably financially stable, which is like one of the really important things you need for that kind of thing. It's like, well, if you're going to spend time doing it, you should at least, sort of know what you're doing. This should probably be bigger. I'm looking at it. It's just not quite to the size specifications that I wanted. Yeah, that's a bit better. I really like this sketchy look. This sketchy look just reminds me so much of pen and paper or pencil and paper. And I am such an analog guy. I just love like when I write down notes and do schedule tracking and whatnot, it's pencil and paper. Like pen and paper, pencil, paper. Those are my mediums that I like to use to keep track of things. 'Cause those are I actually remember stuff like that and I don't lose it because then it's just like there. I know how to set it up so it's not there, and I'm like a total novice when it comes to like I can program stuff and whatnot, but when it comes to like keeping track of things on electronics, oh heck no, I am not the guy for that one. Like no, I'd rather it all be like paper and then but there's totally use cases for uh totally use cases for having pencil and paper. I mean like electronics. It's super useful and convenient if you're like actually using it. That is not okay. I love the pressure sensitivity on this thing. Super nice. Um anyway, I was talking about some things. Yeah, so it was like, well, would you get married? And it's like, well, if I could take care of myself, then I can like then I might be able to help take care of somebody else who's not like struggling to also take care of themselves. Like that's a necessity. I can't babysit two people, man. Babysitting one of them is enough. uh but yeah, so it's interesting seeing how life is moving on, right? So it's like, oh, okay, cool. So these people are like doing this kind of thing with their life and they're taking that more traditional route setup. Now, me personally, I am not built for the societal system structure. I just don't work well with it. Which is unfortunate. I don't recommend people like copy everything that I've been doing with when it comes to like full lifestyle. There's a reason that I don't tend to talk about my lifestyle. I tend to talk about general lifestyle I've found. Because my lifestyle is just it's yeah, it is not built for the average Joe. I have like 6 different projects that I'm working on where if I told people those projects that I was working on, then they're like, "Bro, how are you keeping track of all of them?" It's like, well, it's like, well, I wouldn't like function properly if I didn't have this many projects to work on. It's like, oh, well, it's not how most people do stuff. Let's see if I can. Yeah, that's starting to look right. Let's go. Uh, I love it when a piece starts to come together. Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. Uh, yeah. So I was life is an interesting one. It's an interesting question. I do want to get married at some point, right? But the question is like when and with who and how are you gonna find them and are you gonna, you know, when you do find them, what's gonna be the game plan, that sort of thing. And it's like, well, I'd have to find somebody who's like willing to improve because that is like the massive thing that I need. Oof, my accent slipping. Uh, it's like the massive thing that I need is like I need people who are willing to be better. And it's like why? And it's like because I can't be the only one who's trying to be better in this relationship. I have no clue. Remind me tomorrow. Sorry, I jump scared by a update. update noises. I have no clue if things were shown there. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. This is actually turning out really well. I was not expecting that. I thought it was just going to be like a hey, that sort of looks like the thing that you said it was going to look like. But this is I took to this way faster than I thought I would. I know what I'm doing. I didn't accidentally press a button on my thing that I had no clue what was going on. Anyway, it's interesting. I'm happy for them. I hope it goes well for them because there's a chance that they are absolutely rushing into this, and it's like, well, they get the right to live their life how they want to live their life, and I get the right to judge them on how they live their life. That's my right as their friend. I get to judge their life decisions. So it's like they're probably rushing into this. They're a little young for this kind of thing, but also like I can't blame them for wanting to do it. It's like it's a noble thing to want to go out there and take on the world with somebody else that you love. It's an enjoyable thought. This is getting a little messy in this area. Just a little messy. So yeah, there was that thing. I've been thinking about doing like some sort of video game thing, which I'll probably do. I was thinking about it, and it's like, I was gonna do some sort of funny bit where it's like, yeah, I'm going to a wedding, and it's like, or even funnier was like, yeah, I got a wedding to go to, right? It's like, wait, you're getting married, and it's like, nah. If I was getting married, I'd take a week off from YouTube. On an unrelated note, I'm taking about a week off from YouTube. Which I might be doing. It's still a little unclear on that one, boss. I have a surprise trip that's coming up. This line goes more like that. There we go. Which means that this probably is more like this. Or maybe like that. That's probably more accurate. Sorry, I talk to myself all the time when I'm doing art. But the general gist of stuff is I had a surprise trip coming up. I think I've talked about this on one of my other. There's a lot of videos to keep track of, man. I think I need to reset how I've been cataloging them, because I think I'm just going to catalog them by the name that I want to put them up with rather than like the number that I've done, because I've cracked a good chunk of numbers. We're actually starting to come up to about 100 videos, which is impressive because I didn't think I was going to make it this long. I thought that I was going to be like, oh yeah, this is boring. I don't like doing this. It's not worth the time and effort put into it. But I'm actually really enjoying it enough that I feel proud that it's 100 videos, which is nice. We're getting close to there. But I got a surprise trip coming up. That's actually looking pretty good. Surprise trip coming up that popped up. I learned about it a few days ago. So now I'm this actually goes to here like that. There we go. And then the undermouth goes like this, which means that this goes like that. Okay, there we go. Anyway, surprise trip, all the things. I don't know if I have enough backlog to actually do stuff. So I was thinking that I would if I don't have enough backlog to do stuff, then I'm not going to upload. and I'll just keep my backlog that I have. And if I do have enough backlog to do stuff to run it the whole time that I'm gone, then I'll run it the whole time I'm gone. This is definitely not like a Gronk chinned stormtrooper. That would be crazy. Kronk chinned, not Gronk. Kronk. I know the names of my childhood characters. Yeah. It's actually turning out way better than I thought it would. I'm super proud of that. Anyway, big trip coming up. All the things. I'm gonna be gone for a while, and I want to, have some sort of stuff to prove that I've like. That is way too big. Hold on. Nope, that's too small. There we go. That works. Anyway, I have some stuff that I want to go through and prove. Or no, not prove. Test for a bit. So there's a few different things that I wanted to test for, and I wanted to see if I could like actually do some of these things that I've been talking about, such as like gaming content and whatnot. Even though like gaming content is like, well, doesn't every YouTuber do gaming content? It's like, yes, but there's a reason that every YouTuber does gaming content. And that reason is that it's fun to play video games that you like. It's like, no, don't play video games. It's like, well, sorry about that, bud. This is you misunderstood the channel idea here, which was I do things I want because, I want to do them, and then I'll have, it on the internet so that people can end up critiquing me later. This turned out great. I'm a big fan of this. I am a huge fan of this. I'm gonna do the classic scribble across the. There we go. That looks beautiful. I am a huge fan of that. I'm loving that. I'm gonna change my color to a blue so I can do the classic blue stripe colors going through it. Hold on, that was the wrong spot. Didn't you say you only had a small amount of time left? Yeah, I'm running overtime. Because I actually ended up enjoying this way more than I thought I would. This turned out way better than I ever expected. So, oh wait, no, this goes like this. Okay, like that. Yeah. Anyway, bunch of stuff, all the things. A little short on time. Haven't been building up as much. This is actually all blue. And that's darker. So all of that is blue, and this is darker from the reference image that I'm looking at. But things have been going good. I wanted to spend some time doing something like this because this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. This turned out great. Yeah, this is like more of just a warning that I'm gonna probably be doing content that I enjoy more, rather than just the commentary stuff. For example, these little writings, I've actually been really enjoying this kind of art stuff because it allows me to do art and talk, and it gets me better at the whole digital scribble stuff. This turned out great. I'm super proud of that. Anyway, general stuff, talking. Hope I get all of the things that I wanted to get done, and I have like a bunch of different stuff that's going on, and so I might not upload for the next week if I if I can't actually like cram enough videos in. So yeah, How do I turn this off? There we go.